Namaste, dear seekers. On this beautiful day, Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj speaks of the transformational power that saints have to guide us toward the true goal of life. You know, as we strive to find meaning in this world, it is easy to get lost in worldly pleasures and distractions. However, the saints, through their divine grace and wisdom, rouse us from these distractions and lead us back to the true spiritual purpose. Today, we reflect on the life of Manikkavasagar, a saint whose divine devotion and experiences remind us that the true goal of life is not worldly success or pleasures, but a deep connection with the divine. Let us explore an inspiring incident from his life that beautifully illustrates Maharaj's message. That the company of a sensuous person is more pernicious than that of sensuous pleasures themselves holds in regard to the spiritual path just as well as in worldly life. Association always affects the mind, therefore we should try to live in the company of the godly. Our conscience does guide us in picking the good from the bad, but the trouble is that we seek to reform others and not ourselves. Many people just do not feel it possible that saints can exist in the world. We cannot make out a saint unless we ourselves believe in and have regard for God. We have forgotten the true goal of our life. The saints rouse us to it. Seeing us following the wrong path, they caution and guide us. We should then turn about, retrace our steps, and follow the correct path. We can rest assured that we shall then reach our destination. The saints do not rest inactively after they attain blissfulness. They continue to act for the welfare of the world, while their own blissfulness remains unimpaired. Even when they appear to be inactive, their mere presence makes for the good of the world. Since they have attained beatitude, it behooves us to act as they advise us. In advising people, their sole object is to see that mankind may come to know the truth they have themselves seen, and thereby become happy. How can we doubt the verity of their advice when they have no ulterior selfish motive to serve? When we realize that worldly life is full of misery, we must strive to find a remedy. That remedy we discover in the books written by saints, and we should put into practice what they have advised therein. That alone makes the reading worthwhile. Introspection on what we read is essential. Reading must be accompanied by its practice. We shall not be able to understand properly the works of a saint without his grace. One on whom the saint bestows his grace will very easily and correctly grasp the gist of the book, even though he may not be learned. A learned man will describe the ultimate truth, exercising his imagination, whereas the saints describe it with certainty, as a matter of first-hand experience. When reading a book by a saint, we should bear in mind that we have to bring it into our practice. Manikkavasagar, one of the greatest Tamil saints and a devotee of Lord Shiva, was also a minister in the Pandya kingdom. You know, despite his worldly position, his heart was always immersed in devotion to Lord Shiva. One particular event in his life beautifully demonstrates the truth in Maharaj's discourse. When the king demanded that a magnificent golden idol of Lord Shiva be created for a temple, Manikkavasagar, being entrusted with the task, found himself at a loss. Even though he had collected a substantial amount of gold, it was still not enough to fulfill the king's request. At this moment of despair, instead of focusing on material solutions, Manikkavasagar turned to Lord Shiva with complete faith and devotion. In a miraculous turn of events, as he prayed, Lord Shiva appeared before him in the form of a dazzling golden idol, far more splendid than what could have been created with any earthly resources. This idol was not only enough to meet the king's demands, but was an embodiment of divine grace and spiritual wealth. This incident mirrors the truth that saints, through their devotion, lead us to the true goal of life. Not material wealth or status, but divine connection and fulfillment. You see, Manikkavasagar's surrender to the divine and his ability to receive divine grace teaches us that when we seek the true goal of life, With the same devotion and trust, we too can be guided to the path of liberation. Saints like Manikkavasagar awaken us to the spiritual reality and show us the true goal of life. They are not concerned with worldly possessions or external achievements. Their focus is on connecting us to the divine. Through their guidance and divine grace, we can transcend the illusion of worldly pleasures and move toward our ultimate purpose, union with the divine. Let us take a moment to reflect on the wisdom of the saints and the path they illuminate for us. When we approach life with devotion and trust in the divine, we too can experience miracles of transformation and find the peace that eludes us in the material world. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.